Do you know which is China's most expensive fighter jet? You don't think it's the J-20, do you? Then guess, between the J-16D and J-20, which is more formidable? Without a doubt, when people think of China's top-tier fighter jet, most immediately think of the J-20 stealth fighter, right? But can you believe China's most expensive fighter isn't the J-20? That's right. Even the 5th-gen stealth fighter only ranks second. There are even pricier, more powerful aircraft. Today, I'll walk you through China's 5 most expensive fighter jets. 5th place, J-10C multirole fighter. Don't be fooled by the J-10CS single-engine, lightweight design. This isn't a budget bargain. In fact, this so-called affordable jet is far from cheap. It's arguably the most cost-effective fighter in China's arsenal. According to foreign media and export contract estimates, a bare J-10C airframe costs around 300 million RMB. But with weapons and systems included, the actual cost is far higher. 2 years ago, Pakistan purchased 20 J-10CES, along with spare parts and missiles, for a total of 128 billion RMB. That averages to nearly 100 million US dollars per jet. Sounds shocking, doesn't it? Indeed, that's more than the cost of some full warships. A medium-sized fighter like this can be worth as much as a major project. But to be fair, Pakistan wasn't just buying the jet itself. It was an all-inclusive combat package, advanced radar and avionics, full suites of medium and short-range air-to-air missiles, plus training and logistics, all included. What I'm saying is, the J-10C might be compact, but it's fully equipped. It has an ESA radar, an Earth's optical sensor suite, similar to the F-35's DOS system, and a tactical data link. None of the essentials are missing. All these high-end systems, plus the formidable PL-15E long-range AAM, naturally push the cost upward. 4th place, J-15 carrier-based fighter. Now we come to number 4, the J-15 naval fighter, nicknamed the Flying Shark. This is the workhorse of China's aircraft carrier air wings. As the saying goes, carrier-based fighters are money burners. And the J-15 certainly lives up to that name. According to public reports, each J-15 costs nearly 400 million RMB. What does that mean? That's nearly twice the cost of a land-based J-11 fighter. No wonder it surprised many military fans. It was actually an accident report that unintentionally revealed this sky-high price. Why is it so expensive? Actually, it's not that China is overcharging. It's that carrier-based aircraft are inherently expensive. You have to understand. Carrier takeoffs and landings demand extremely strong airframe structures to enable ski jump or catapult launches and carrier landings. The J-15's airframe was reinforced, and the landing gear was beefed up. Its wings are also foldable. These structural additions alone significantly raise the cost. On top of that, it must withstand harsh maritime conditions, high salt and humidity. To prevent corrosion, special materials and design features are applied to both airframe and avionics. That drives the cost even higher. For example, the French Navy's Rafale M costs over 10 million euro more than the Air Force version. The US FA-18EF Super Hornet also costs over 450 million RMB per unit. By comparison, our J-15 costing 400 million RMB seems like a good deal. Of course, that 400 million doesn't include amortized RD costs. RD funding is accounted for separately in China's defense budget. If you factor that in, the unit cost will be even higher. 3rd place, J-16 multirole fighter. Coming in at 3rd is the famous J-16 fighter. Those who know. The J-16 is the big brother and the true all-rounder of the PLAAF. Air superiority, ground attack, anti-ship, electronic warfare, it does it all. It's nicknamed China's bomb truck, and with a nickname that fierce. you can bet the price isn't low either. Estimates suggest the J-16 costs between 500 to 600 million RMB per unit. That's not much cheaper than the J-20. Some reports claim the J-20 costs about 700 million RMB, while the J-16 is around 500 million. A difference of 100 to 200 million may sound significant, but the J-16 still costs 70 to 80 as much as the J-20. Some even claim its cost reaches 90 of a J-20. No wonder military fans are asking, if the J-16 is that expensive, why not just build all J-20s instead? My friend, you can't judge by unit cost alone. The J-20 is a stealth ace fighter. It's more technically demanding, but its production is limited, and upkeep is expensive. The J-16, however, is a mature 45-generation aircraft, comparable to Western Gen 4 platforms. It's easier to mass-produce and maintain, and can be rapidly fielded. Plus, their mission profiles differ. The J-20 is a strategic air superiority and penetration asset, built for tough adversaries. The J-16 focuses more on conventional ground naval strikes and broad area support. Simply put, each has its own battlefield role. They are not interchangeable. So yeah, we need both the J-20 and the J-16. A high-low mix is the optimal solution for an air force. Second place, J-20 Stealth Fighter. It represents both the pride and combat power of the Chinese Air Force. As China's first fifth-generation stealth fighter, the J-20 is regarded by many as priceless. So how much does it actually cost? According to us military analysts, the early production J-20 cost around 120 million US dollars, roughly 800 million RMB. But in recent years, as production increased, economies of scale kicked in. It's rumored that the current unit price has dropped to 80 to 100 million USD, which is about 560 to 700 million RMB per aircraft. That puts it in the same price range as the American F-35. Sounds a little cheaper than expected, doesn't it? But don't celebrate too soon. That's just a relative price drop. The J-20 remains one of the most expensive weapons in China's arsenal. Just compare it with others. A 10,000 ton Type 055 destroyer costs around 6 billion RMB per unit. Only the DF-41 ICBM, with its missiles priced over 100 million each, surpasses the J-20. But that's not even an aircraft. All in all, one J-20 over a dozen trainer jets, or hundreds of tanks, or thousands of civilian sedans. It still hurts the wallet when you do the math. First place, J-16D electronic warfare aircraft. It's finally time for the champion to appear. That's right, the title of China's most expensive fighter goes to this low-profile but deadly beast, the J-16D electronic warfare aircraft. Many of you might not be familiar with it. The J-16D is based on the multirole J-16, but upgraded specifically for electronic warfare missions. Although it looks similar to the J-16, it's packed with cutting-edge tech from nose to tail. Its wingtips feature prominent EW pods, and its wings are loaded with jamming pods and electronic antennas. Its internal systems have been heavily modified to deliver powerful electronic attack and self-protection capabilities. All that advanced EW gear doesn't come cheap. And with limited production volume, its RD costs can't be spread out. The J-16D ends up costing even more than the J-20. Current estimates put its unit price above 100 million US dollars, around 700 million RMB. Some rumors say it's approaching 800 million RMB per aircraft. That's even more expensive than the US Navy's EA-18G Growler. Now you know the headline wasn't clickbait. The J-20 isn't the biggest money burner. The J-16D is. So here comes the question. Why is an electronic warfare aircraft so expensive? Let's put it this way. A conventional fighter is like a fist. It punches enemies with bombs and missiles. An EW aircraft is more like a hacker, crippling enemy radar and comms without firing a shot. to be a hacker among warplanes. It needs top-tier listening and jamming systems. That includes multi-band electronic countermeasure pods, tactical receivers, and comms jamming devices. One full loadout costs as much as half a jet. Additionally, due to its special mission profile, the J-16D carries specialized munitions. It may be equipped with new generation anti-radiation missiles, designed to home in on enemy radar. When all this is combined, it's no wonder the cost skyrockets. So jokingly speaking, everything about the J-16D screams. One word: expensive. Since we're burning so much money, just how powerful is the J-16D? Let's put it this way. It's the silent killer of the modern battlefield. It can dominate the enemy within the electromagnetic spectrum. First of all, it can jam enemy radar from long distances, disrupt communications and data links, blinding and deafening their eyes and ears. For example, when enemy ground-based air defense radars are scanning for targets, suddenly, their screens fill with static and noise. They can't lock onto a single target. That's almost certainly the J-16D up ahead, smashing the jamming button. Once enemy radars go dark, our follow-up fighters and missiles can penetrate deep with ease. Their survivability increases sharply. Secondly, the J-16D itself can launch anti-radiation missiles to strike enemy radar installations directly. In simple terms, first suppress with jamming, then follow up with missiles that home in on the radar signal, wiping out the radar vehicle completely. Once the strike combo hits, the enemy's entire air defense network collapses. These days, if an air force doesn't have dedicated electronic warfare escorts, it's not ready for real combat. The US has the EA-18G Growler for support, and now we have our own J-16D electronic warfare Tiger. China has finally filled this critical capability gap. In terms of strategic value, the J-16D is a force multiplier in China's system-off-systems warfare. It can escort strike aircraft like the J-20, clearing away electromagnetic threats. It can also support J-16 formations in standoff suppression missions, drastically reducing friendly losses. If a high-intensity conflict ever breaks out, this aircraft will be among the first deployed. By neutralizing the opponent's electronic assets, it makes the rest of the fight significantly easier. So, don't be fooled by how low-key it seems in peacetime. Once it enters the battlefield, it's the embodiment of the word ruthless. It defeats enemies without a trace. Compared to trading missiles, this is far more terrifying for the enemy. Its high cost has its reasons, which are fully embodied in the J-16D. Spending 700 to 800 million RMB to create an electronic warfare king. Sure, it's expensive, but it can silently save billions worth of friendly assets. That's a deal worth making. Now, if you reread the title, you'll probably smile knowingly. Turns out our most expensive fighter isn't a stealth jet, but a ghost in the sky that blinds the enemy. Alright then, that wraps up our rundown of the 5 most expensive Chinese fighter jets. To recap, from lowest to highest, the versatile single-engine J-10C 300 million RMB. The carrier-based heavy hitter J-15 400 million RMB. The all-purpose bomb truck J-16 500 to 600 million RMB. The stealth ace J-2700 million RMB. And the unrivaled king of EW, J-16D 800 million RMB. So what do you think? Pretty eye-opening, right? As the saying goes, when the cannon fires, gold flows like water. Modern military competition has always been a game of burning money. China's ability to develop so many costly and advanced jets shows our industrial base is solid and our tech is world-class.